So let's run the program once and see how it works. So I have the string here, crackers, yeah, and if I run it, it says all the single letters found in crackers are A, K, E, S. Well, of course, to solve this problem, you're going to need a nested for loop. You're going to have a for loop within a for loop, and the outer for loop is just going to look at one letter at a time. So for example, I'm going to start with letter C, and then the inner for loop is just going to count how many times that letter appears in the whole rest of the word. So C is here once, and the inner for loop is kind of going through, no C, no C, there's another C, so C appears twice, nothing, nothing, nothing. So if C appears more than once, I'm not going to add that to my final string, maybe called single letters, so I will not add a C. Then the outer for loop advances and looks at the next letter, R in this case, and then the inner for loop again goes through and counts how many times R appears in the word. So I'm going through, no R, there's one, nothing, 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 nothing. R appears twice, so I'm not going to add R to my final string. I'm only going to add letters to my final string if they appear only once. So here I am now looking at A. Again, my outer for loop is looking at A, and then my inner for loop counts how many times that A appears in the word. So the inner for loop again is going to start at the beginning, nothing, nothing, there's one A, nothing, 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 nothing. So A appears only once, so I'm going to add A to my final output. So hopefully that makes sense. Again, you're going to have a nested for loop. Your outer for loop is going to look at one letter at a time, and then your inner for loop is going to iterate through, again looking at every letter, but it's going to count how many times that letter appears in the word, and if it's more than once, it's not going to be added to your final output string. And then in the end, you just print out your output. So that should be good enough for you to get started.